everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I'm a knitter and crocheter in coastal South Carolina. This is my second podcast ever and I'm very excited to show you what I've been working on. I got so many nice comments on the last video and I felt super welcomed. So thank you to everybody who was watching and thank you for watching today. I'm really excited to get to talk to you today about all the things I've been working on. It's not as many as I had last time because I'm a teacher and I recently had to go back to work. So I haven't had as much time to just sit on the couch and knit. Plus I've been watching the Olympics like a crazy person, like obsessed. And I have not been knitting as much while I do that. I would love to hear about what you're working on while you watch. So please leave a comment telling me what project you're working on. Tell me about it. I'd love to hear about all the things you're making. Let's start with what I'm wearing. Today I'm wearing the Lanikai Summer Tee by Sallyknit. I made this in Cascade Ultra Pima Fine in the color 3752 Coral. It's this really pretty pink color. I really like this color on me and I love this little lace motif. I definitely didn't do the lace accurately, but I still feel like it looks nice. I like the way the shirt looks overall. This pattern has 7 sizes and the size range goes from a finished bust of 99 centimeters to 160 centimeters, which is 39 to 65 inches. So pretty good size range. And the gauge is 22 by 28 stitches on 3.5mm needles. It's suggested that you make this with 20 to 25 centimeters of positive ease. So I chose a size 2, but I was slightly off gauge. My gauge is a little bit too tight, so it is a little smaller than it should be. But I still like the way it fits. I think it's a nice, boxy kind of shape. The sleeves are nice and loose. I definitely don't like a tight sleeve on my arms. Actually, when I made this, I did the twisted rib like it said, like the pattern suggested, but it was too tight. I did it way too tight. And I think I also bound off too tight. So I ended up actually cutting it, putting in a lifeline, and then redoing this ribbing. And I have a video of that on my Instagram if you'd like to see that process. And I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. Overall, I'm really pleased with this garment. I think it's really cute. It's really comfortable. I love the way it feels on my skin. I actually wore it in Savannah 2 weeks ago. And if you've been to Savannah, Georgia, you know it's very, very hot, especially in July. And I was actually really comfortable. I, of course, was sweating because everyone is sweating, but it felt really nice. It was breezy and I was very comfortable. Now let's move on to my finished objects. I only have one finished object today, and it is the Tolsta Tee by Clow. Here it is, or the Crabe on Instagram. Let me grab it. This is my second ever Tolsta. I showed it in the last podcast, and at that point I had not done the sleeves, and I was about at this point of the body, so I finished sleeves and the rest of the body. It is done. I've not blocked it yet, but I don't expect it to change too much. I think it is going to grow a little, but get the basic idea here today. The Tolsta Tee is written for 10 sizes with a finished bust circumference of 80 centimeters to 169 centimeters, which is 31.5 to 67 inches. It's written to have 0 to 8 centimeters of positive ease, so I chose the size 3 to get me about 8 centimeters of positive ease, and I used Bambootiful, which is Hobby Lobby's version of Lion brand Kobu. The color I chose was linen. This is the DK weight version, which is written for a gauge of 17 by 25 stitches on 5mm needles. I am slightly larger than that, so it's slightly larger than written, but that's okay. I still like it. For this one, I did garter stitch every 8 rounds all the way through the top. And then when I got to about where I wanted to end the sleeve, I did garter stitch and then 4 rounds of just stockinette, and then I started the ribbing. I did that on the sleeves and on the bottom. I had 3 balls of this yarn and I used 2 of them plus the teeniest little bit of the 3rd ball. So I have a lot left over. I'm not sure what I'll do with that yet. This is super comfortable. I love the way this yarn feels. It's very smooth. I have very sensitive skin and it's so soft. It feels so good, but it's a little bit heavy. And I think you can see that's really pulling down on the hanger. I don't store it on a hanger, I just did it for the video. But when it's on my body, I can feel that it's growing as I wear it, which I think will be good because I made it a little bit cropped. So when I wear pants like what I have on right now, which are right at my hip, not high-waisted, it's a little too short. but I almost always wear high-waisted, so I don't think it'll really matter. Last time I did Tolsta, I did the suggested neck modification to make the neckline not as wide, but this time I didn't. I was going for like a coastal grandma kind of vibe, so I thought it would be cute to have a wide neck, but I forgot that that's gonna show just a little bit of my bra straps. So I don't know how I feel about that, but my hair just about covers it if I wear it down, so I think it'll be fine. I'll insert a clip of me wearing this top. Something that I don't know the reason for, but I don't love the way the sleeves look on me. I cannot describe what it is about the sleeves that I don't like. It's not ruining it for me, and I'm still going to wear it, but something about it just makes me feel strange about the way the arms look, and you can see that in the video. But like I said, I'm going for like a coastal grandma kind of vibe with this. I think it'll be really cute with blue pants, and maybe like I have these little brown sandals. One thing I don't love about it, and I cannot tell you what I mean by this, but I feel like it looks a little too handmade for my taste. Obviously, the things I make are handmade, they look handmade, and I like when people can tell that I made it because I like compliments. But something about this one, I'll show you up close. I don't know if it's like the way the stitches look because the yarn is pretty thick. I don't know. Something about it. It's still cute. I'm going to wear it, but I'm just not sure how I feel about that yet. Overall, this is super comfortable, and I do like the way it looks. I like this neutral color. I think I'll wear this a good bit this year, especially to work, because I cannot tell you, it is so soft. Y'all gotta get into this yarn. That's my only finished object for today, so now let's move into my whips. My first whip is the Book Club Cardigan. I've been working on this since the start of summer. I started it my last day of school in June, and I've worked on it all summer, and I am very close to finishing. I'm super excited. This is a drop shoulder style cardigan. The size ranges go from 95 centimeters to 175 centimeters, or 37.5 to 69 inches, and it suggests 20 centimeters of positive ease. I made a size 2. I think it fits really nice. I'll add a clip of me wearing it. I'm using Cascade 220 non-superwash in doe skin heather, and you can see more information about it in my last podcast. Last time I showed you this, I had finished the body and I had not yet started the sleeves, and it had actually been kind of in timeout for a little while I worked on more summery items. But I got back to this and I did the sleeves. They are both done. I actually did them super fast, too fast, and I gave myself a little bit of wrist pain, so I took a break. Just knitting in general. I didn't knit for a day or two, but I think they look super nice. I'm a little bit sad that I'm done with all of the cables at this point. All I have left to do is the button band and the pockets. Actually, I'll get to do a little cabling with the pockets, so never mind. I would love to finish it right now, but I'm actually almost out of yarn. I have enough, I think, to do the pockets, but not enough to do the button band. So I'm gonna go ahead and order another ball, just in case the color is a little bit different. If you saw my last podcast, you saw that I had a big issue with the dye lot on my Thea top, and now I'm kind of afraid of that happening here. So we'll see, but I think what I could do is use the rest of the yarn that I have for the pockets, and then the new ball for the button band, just in case it's a slightly different color. I'm gonna order the next ball of yarn today, so hopefully by the next podcast I'll have that and I can get started on the button band and pockets, or maybe I'll be really crazy and get it all done. We'll see. I'm working on this as part of the Book Club Cardigan knit along. It ends, I think, this coming weekend, but I'm not gonna have it finished before then, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. I made a lot of progress during this cal, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm loving the group chat. If you'd like to join it, it's going to continue after the cal is over, so you could still join it. If you're looking for it on Instagram, just look up hashtag Book Club Cardigan Cal. I'll put that on the screen. You can also find it on my Instagram. I think I've put it on every post where I've posted this cardigan whip. You can find that hashtag. I'm really excited to wear this in the fall and winter. I think it gives very dark academia vibes, or like if you've read Secret History by Donna Tartt, I think it's on the bookshelf. It has very secret history vibes, and I'm super excited to wear it in the fall and winter. Here it is. But if you've read this, I feel like this gives me the same vibes as this book. I actually haven't finished this book, but I really like it so far. That is it for my book club cardigan. For my next whip, I have another pair of the Favorite Socks by Kristin Lehrer. This is just a free vanilla sock pattern. It's cuff down, reinforced heel flap, and a short row heel turn. I've done this pattern 3 times now, or 2.5 because I'm not done with this one. The first time I did 64 stitch cast on. The last time with the yellow orange ones I did last time on my podcast, I did a 56 stitch cast on, and this time I went back to 64, and I like the way it fits a lot this time. I have finished one sock, and I'm just starting the heel flap on my next pair, or on my next sock. If you're just getting into knitting socks, I really like this pattern because it also has a YouTube video that you can follow along and watch if you're better at maybe seeing it and knowing what to do. I like to do it. The first time I did it, I used the YouTube video only. The second time, I tried to use just the pattern and reference the video when I needed it, and I'm doing the same thing here. I think I've only had to look at it for when I did the Kitchener stitch. Could not remember how to do the Kitchener stitch, but I really like that. I did the same thing when I knitted my first ever sweater. I used the step-by-step sweater by Handmade by Florence, and the first time just used the YouTube video, and then the next time I did it again, and then the next time I used the pattern and then referenced the video if I needed a little bit of help, and then I felt that I could move on to another pattern, and I followed one that was just a written pattern, and I felt pretty successful. This yarn is the Alpaca Yarn Company Paca Peds yarn. It is a fingering weight sock yarn. I really like the colors on this yarn. I think it's really cute. I like the way it works up into little stripes, but I've never used alpaca yarn in a sock yarn before, and I don't know if it's all alpaca yarn does this or just this yarn, but it's really splitty, which doesn't usually bother me, but I started these socks because I needed a pattern or a project that I could do while my sister-in-law was visiting 2 weeks ago. Well, I've been watching the Olympics. I just needed something a little bit small and simple, and I like to be able to do socks without looking so I can look at the TV, like I've been watching the Olympics. But it's splitty, so I find myself not really able to look away while I do it because it splits, and then I only get part of the yarn in my stitch. These are cute, but I'm not sure how much I'll wear them because they fit really well, but when I tried them on, something about the way the alpaca yarn feels, it does not feel super comfortable. I haven't blocked it yet though, and maybe that will change, so I'll update you in the next podcast. But one thing I really love is just the way that this variegated yarn has worked up. I love this section of blue right here when I did the heel turn. I think it looks so pretty. And on the other side, there's brown. I just think that looks so cool. And then underneath it, from blue to brown. Very cool. But we'll see how it goes when I finish this one and I block them, and maybe I'll use alpaca sock yarn again in the future. Maybe I won't. But that's it for my vanilla socks. My last whip is my adult Playdate Tee. I have made 0 progress since the last time you saw this in my first podcast, and that is because I think I'm going to frog it. So this is me giving you one last look at this super pretty yarn in this cute little tee. It fits well, it's cute, it's just too itchy, and so I think I'm gonna have to use this yarn for something else. I really want to use this yarn. I love it. It feels really good in my hands, just not good on my bare skin, so I'm thinking some sort of layering piece like a shawl or a cardigan. The problem is I only have 3 skeins of this yarn because I got it when my local yarn store closed, so I just got what they had left. So I have what I've used here, which is 1 skein. I have a 2nd skein caked up and ready to go, and then a 3rd skein that's still in the hank. So I think it'd be really cute in a cardigan, but I surely don't have enough for a cardigan. Maybe a short sleeve one that's kind of cropped. So I looked on Ravelry. I couldn't find any that was for sale. So I found some online. It's a little bit expensive to order it from a store, but that's okay. We'll see. I've been thinking about getting a little bit extra so I have more options, maybe to make a longer sleeve cardigan. But I also could do a shawl. I think it'd be really cute. I've never made a shawl or owned a shawl, worn a shawl, nothing. But I've been looking at this yarn on Ravelry, and a lot of people use it for shawls, so maybe that'd be cool. But that's it for my adult Playdate tee. Say goodbye. I'll be frogging it probably today. That is my last whip. Now let's move on to my acquisitions. So my sister-in-law was visiting 2 weeks ago, and I drove her to the Charleston airport when she left and went back home. And since I was already in Charleston, I thought, maybe I'll look at their yarn store. Because like I said, my town does not have a yarn store anymore. So I went to Wild and Woolly in Charleston, South Carolina. It was a very cute store. They have not just knitting and crocheting, but they also have sewing and quilting supplies. So if I ever get into those things, I could definitely go there. It was super cute. They were so nice. There was also a tiny little knitting group going on with just 3 people. They looked like they were having a lot of fun. It would be so nice to go join them, but it's about an hour and a half from where I live, so it's not really feasible for me. But I did find some very cute yarn. These are the 2 skeins that I got at that store. I'll start with this one. This is by the Fiber Studio, and it is their Studio Sock Space in the color Low Country Sunset. This is a color that's dyed exclusively for the store Wild and Woolly. You can see their little logo on it, very cute. But they had 2 colors. One was this Low Country Sunset and one was Low Country Blues, and they both very much reminded me of the Low Country. That's the area of South Carolina that we live in. This looks like the sunsets here. It's so pretty. I really like this, and I think I'm going to use this to make a pair of socks. It's made of 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, which is the highest amount of nylon I've used, and I'm excited to try it and see what I think. And I was thinking I might pair it with this yarn that, if you watched my last podcast, you saw I used this for a pair of vanilla socks. I think this might be really cute for maybe like the toe and heel. I think it pretty closely matches this color, and I think it would be really pretty. I also picked up this yarn. I'm very excited about this one. But this is Wild and Woolly's hand-dyed indigo yarn, and they actually dye it in-house, so they make it there with their own indigo dye. The store also does some indigo dyed quilt classes. It looks really fun. I might have to get up there to try one of those. It looks really pretty, and I love this yarn. They had a whole bunch of different indigo dyed skeins, and they all looked very different. So I picked one that I really like. I like this one. I think it's, mostly dark blue, and then it's got just a little flash of this really light blue. I think it's going to be really cute. It's 25% bamboo, 50% merino, and 25% nylon. And she did tell me that this one will bleed a good bit the first time you wash it, so to wash it with vinegar. So I will try that, and I'll let you know how it goes whenever I use this yarn. I was thinking probably a pair of socks, because I'm really on like a sock kick right now, but she also said a lot of people use it to make shawls. Again, I've never had a shawl, so I don't know if I'm really a shawl kind of girl, but it sounds fun. It might be cute. I think, again, this would give coastal grandma, which I've kind of been going for. I think that'd be really nice. And I'm really excited because this is my first locally dyed yarn. They didn't have any locally dyed yarn at our local yarn store before it closed, so I was really excited to get this. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to see my future videos. If you'd like more day-to-day updates, you can follow me on Instagram at RachelMakesThings4. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.